Addiction. Today's topic is consistency is designed, not forced. Set up what you can sustain in your worst days. So for those who are new to the channel, my name is Ashley. I'm a therapist. I specialise in childhood and trauma, but I'm an addictions counsellor. But I've overcame addiction, so I know what that's like, and I know what it's like to have loved ones who are struggling with it. But I've also studied it right the way up to PhD level, so I really do know my stuff. So before we get into the live topic, Q&A, today's live topic is about consistency is designed, not forged. Sometimes we can fall in the trap of all or nothing, and it's really important if we're thinking about sustainable recovery, or if we're talking about sustainable patterns for mental health, which are going to be helpful. We need to think obviously not nothing, but we need to get balance in the middle, and it's really hard to do. But what we need to do first of all is create an environment which is going to allow consistency to flourish. So it's really important that we're looking after the basic healthcare, like food, water, like hydration, exercise, good sleep if possible. So take care of the basics, friendships, like really important connections that we have in our lives. So we've got good people in our life. We've got healthy connections with boundaries, etc. So take care of that, and that will enable these things that we're putting into place to flourish. But it's really important that we don't just go all in and think, right, I'm going to live the best life tomorrow. Because if you are not used to living your best life, might feel great for a day or two, then it's going to start to feel overwhelming. You're going to start being like forgetting things, doing things wrong. Oh, I'm just going to do that again tomorrow, and it's just going to collapse. So think about, what can I do which is manageable and sustainable, and do that. Create that habit. Then think about, what else can I do that is manageable and sustainable, and layer on top and do that habit, and keep working like that. So create this life that you want. Create an addiction-free life, or a life where mental health is just at its best case scenario, and cultivate it slowly, surely, intentionally. Right. Hi, Ariaskin, how you doing? First one to come, I know. Shouldn't you be studying? Should you not be studying? No, how is the studying going? Sean, day 61, asking for a foot check with the GP. Chris, hi Chris, how you doing? Hello Ashley, I want to thank you for your time even while you're on holiday. Does not go unnoticed, it's a blessing, thanks. Oh, thank you. I do enjoy my little lives. I'm not sitting here thinking, oh, I've got to go to work, so that helps. But thank you. Psychedelic, hi again, how was your day? Mine was overwhelming. I created some stuff art, my brain working like a machine. Oh God, I'm glad you've managed to do something productive when you're feeling overwhelmed. Mine's also been overwhelming. My son has been on top form. Didn't go to sleep until dead late. I thought he'd sleep in late, he didn't, and he's just been it's a holiday from hell passenger, honestly. Mr. Peace, TF, I don't know what TF stands for, I'm not down with the kids. The fuck is I'm gonna say is you on about? I don't know what point you're on about, like at what point. Peter is saying, I wish you all the best in life. Thank you, that's very kind. You look like Paul Breach with long hair. Who's Paul Breach? I don't know who he is. I feel like that's not going to be a compliment, though. I'm going to take a stab in the dark. Eliaskin said, by the way, you asked me on what purpose I made my YouTube channel, and let me know that you were my main purpose is to guide students how to ace their exams and how to improve their academic, moreover, overall improvement. That is such a good idea. That is such a good idea. Eliaskin, I used to help loads of students. So when I was on maternity leave, I started doing, what do you do with students? So like tutoring. I started doing tutoring, because when you learn the skills of how to do an academic assignment, whether that's exams or written, it's a formula, and once you learn that, it's a pattern. You can't unsee it, and you can apply it to anything. So I was helping students in like so many different areas, but I can tell you my little formula if you want. But yeah, that's such a good thing to do. Niche on niche is really good as well for YouTube. You get to learn to be a big fish in a little pond instead of being a little fish in a big pond. So that's a good idea. It's Tico. Hello, Tico. How you doing? If you need one-to-one support, please reach out to Ashley at schoolofaddiction.co.uk. Yeah, absolutely do. I'm on holiday, guys. Oh, it's not letting us pin that. Oh, yeah. I am on holiday, so there's a little bit of a backlog of replying, but I will reply to people. What's your age? Opus says, saying I'm 37, just turned 37 a week or so ago. Irish accent for you. I mean, I don't have an Irish accent, but yeah, it's a nice accent. I agree. Not Manchester, no. I'm from Newcastle. Mystery of Mention's from the northeast of England. Yeah, I am. God, I get some right pretty mad places that people think I'm from. It's because, I say this all the time, it's because I'm Geordie/autistic. Like, I think it's like I've got that autistic twang to it. I just sound a bit weird. People think I'm AI as well sometimes, which is funny. Like, Jonathan, I met an Irish shorty and her name was Siobhan, but her spelling was crazy. Oh, I've got a friend with a spelling of Siobhan, and I still to this day can't spell it. And she just said, just call her Shiv. So yeah, that's all I've had to go for. Like Sayobone or something like that, it's spelled. Okay, does your country make methamphetamine a felony there? It's just not that big that I know of. I mean, it might have got bigger in the last couple of years. I doubt it. But yeah, it would be, I'd imagine. Fire Flame is saying, where did you buy that flowery thing you're wearing from? I love it. It looks like a carpet, doesn't it? I've got it from Shein. Literally spent about 60 quid before I came away and got me and my son, like, my son got a brand new wardrobe for holiday. I think it was like 3 quid or something. Bargain. Elijah, absolutely amazingly beautiful. Thank you, Elijah. How are you doing? Skin notification of your video, so I can't stop myself to come and just want to become like you. Oh, I want to help people because I know how it feels when you go through it. I love that with you, Skin. And you're just at the point now where you get to decide what to do with your life. You're at prime, just coming, like, finishing your uni exams. I love that. I really love that you've done that. Let us know. Send us your channel link. Loving your tattoos. Thank you, Matt. I've just got this one done. It's a new one. I did show it this morning, but it's I've wanted it for a while. I thought, fuck it, I'm just going to do it. They're really good at tattoo artists in Turkey. I got a really good one last year as well. Most amazing shows I ever looked on stream. I'm loving this. I also went through Glow Up. I think it's because it's dark and I'm just like I feel like I'm making excuses, but I have got like just a light shining in my face, like one of those like lighting. I think lighting's helping us, but thank you. Oh, hi Sham, how are you doing? I always feel bad as well. I forget to thank my mods at the end. And I'm like, oh, I should have thanked them. But thank you so much for helping me channel all of yours. You're amazing. She's ADUHD. Tico's replying to code. What did code say? I don't know what code is. Too many comments to keep up with. Yeah, I am AUDHD. Fun. Dan, those tattoos are really nice artwork. Thank you. The tattoo artist is amazing. He's only been doing it for 3 years as well. His line work is phenomenal. I showed it, like, sent us his Instagram. Really good. Didn't speak a word of English. I just sat there for 5 hours. I was so zen getting this tattoo as well. So like anytime it was like starting to hurt, I was just like breathing. I started to notice I felt really drowsy and yawny, and I was thinking, what is going on? So obviously had to Google it, like ask AI, and it was saying it was because I'd hit my parasympathetic nervous system. So I've been practicing regulating that much, and my body was just going into rest and digest. I was just sat there like zen as fuck, just enjoying the endorphins, to be honest with you. It was really nice. I felt like I was a bit high. I don't want to get addicted to that though. At least it's a hard thing to get hold of. What do you define addiction as? I want to know if I qualify. Yeah, Jacob. So there's different definitions with everything. What I like to define it as, and this is like not me making it up, this is just a modality that I've picked, which resonates with the research I've read. So that is that addiction is a problem that you want to stop, that you can't stop. I mean, there's loads of things you could, like, what is a problem, you might say, and might you not think it's a problem and other people might think it's a problem. That's up for you to work out. But yeah, so if it's something that you're doing and it's not problematic, it's causing you stress, it's causing you harm, you don't want to stop, then it's not really an addiction. It's just doing something that's a little bit ropey may have a future impact. Yeah. Sham is saying Ashley's from the northeast of England, Newcastle. Yeah, it's always up for debate, isn't it, Sham? Chris is saying, if you've got any questions about addiction or mental health, please ask Ashley. Yeah, I do. Any questions around addiction or mental health? I'm a therapist. You've got free access to us. Obviously, it's not a replacement for therapy. But I've got a lot of training. I've got 2 degrees in counselling, so I know my shit. Fire away. But we could also talk about what my ropey accent is. Hi, Guy. Just saw you there. UK, where you're at? So I'm from the UK. I'm currently in Turkey on holiday. And I still haven't had a drink. For those who knows, I quit drinking in August. I've like danced with, should I have a drink, shouldn't I? So I've had a couple of times and I have, and came back to the conclusion of not. So I had an all-inclusive holiday, which I definitely paid the extra for the alcohol when I booked it. But I went no drink. I've got to say, I'm fucking knackered. I am shattered. It is surprising how much drinking by the pool gives you energy. Oh, thank you, Scotty. You are a therapist of what? So look, I don't know, you mean a therapist of what, because like you're just a therapist or you're not a therapist. But if you mean in terms of specialising, so I specialise in addiction. So I've done 2 counselling degrees. One of them I specialised in addiction, so that was a large part of it, what I did my dissertation on. And then I did my master's was solely on addiction. So I specialise in that, but I also specialise in childhood and trauma because that is where my keen interest is. That's where I do all my CPD training. Can we get addicted to water? You can get addicted to anything. So addiction is just, it's a habit, and it's basically you getting driven by dopamine. So dopamine is a chemical that we produce. It's a feel-good hormone. Feel great when we get it. It's an addictive feeling. So we're essentially addicted to dopamine. And what dopamine does is it drives you to the things that matter. So if you've made the association that I need to drink a lot of water, like, don't get us wrong, it's good. But it can be addictive. Like, it makes you look fresh and young. I know if I'm not drinking water, I look like I've aged 10 years. It's like watering a plant. I go from like... So yeah, you could get addicted to it if you think that's what I need to do. But it's going to drive you towards anything that matters. So as long as you're not drinking excessive amount of water, which can cause you issues, I'd say it's not really an issue, but that's something for you to work out with a professional, I would say. Listening to you is very therapeutic, as it is good day. Good day. I don't know what that means. Oh, thank you for whoever's giving the likes. I can see them like floating up. Little hearts, appreciate it. Oh, if anyone can give us a subscribe, that's a really free way to help the channel. I do help people on the channel who are in dire straits free of charge. So you'll also be helping other people and helping us get to them. But yeah, but if not, just thanks for joining. Feel good videos. Do you have any advice for a father who's depressed because he's been limited to 6 hours a month with his daughter because his mother told lies in a custody trial and the judge believed them? Whose evidence? I am so sorry about that. So obviously I'm not trained in the other side of stuff like that. If you want to have a free one-to-one feel good, please go to my website, schoolofaddiction.co.uk. I've pinned it and we can sit down and have a proper one-to-one. So to talk about that more broadly, because I am dubious about answering really complex stuff like this over a live without very little information. But what I would in these situations is think, okay, depression, it's understandable that you're depressed. I would really tighten up self-love. I would think about, okay, I'm feeling depressed. I've got to motivate myself to get out of this slump. Like, depression needs motivation because depression is the opposite of motivation. So we need to try and motivate yourself. Now think of it, I say it all the time, but I'll say it again. Think of your mental health like a spiral staircase. So you could be going down, low mood and going towards depression. Or you can be feeling like shit, worthless, all these negative things, and you just go on a trajectory downward. And what you need to do is you stop, turn yourself around and start walking up. Like, okay, how am I going to pull myself out? Start making tracks in the opposite direction towards fulfilled, peace, content, all them feelings. And you have to do it just little step by little step, because when you're feeling depressed and something as terrible as what's happened to you, feel good, has happened, it's going to be really hard to motivate yourself. But you have to motivate yourself, and you have to start with the bar low. Now, one way to motivate yourself is to find something that is motivating for why you are going to get your arse into gear. So for you, it's that 6 hours, right? For me, what I would be thinking, and this is just me, this isn't advice, this is just an example. I would be thinking, right, it's fucking shit what's happened. That's undeniable. However, my kids are only getting to see us 6 hours a month, and they need to have the best version of their parent for those 6 hours a month. So that's going to be my motivation. I'm going to make sure they've got the best fucking mom they could possibly have for them 6 hours, or in your case, dad. Use that as your motivation and think, what's one small thing that I can do toward being the best version of myself for my kids? And also, kids do get to choose when they get to a certain age, so that might be a hook. Like, okay, I can't control this, it's out of my control, but what is in my control is what person I'm going to be that's going to meet them on the other side of this and meet them for that 6 hours a month. That's what I would think, but we can have a one-to-one as well. What's other people thinking? Because we've got a lot of people on the channel who are like, going through mental health, maybe gone through something similar. Oh, Jim Miller, I fucking love this question. What's your attachment style? So I'm a fearful avoidant by nature. So I basically oscillate between, so that people who don't know attachment styles, I am secure now. I've done a test a few times just to check as well. So for people who don't know what attachment style is, first of all, you can go on Google and type in attachment style quiz. Do it, it will change your life, unless you're securely attached then. It's just a bit of an ego boost. Everybody has an attachment style, by the way, so there's nobody watching who does not have an attachment style. And you'll either fit into anxious, which means in relationships, you are the person who double, triple texts, the person who freaks out when somebody's not replying, thinks, oh, I must have done something wrong, that kind of anxious person in relationships. You have avoidant, these little fuckers, these little ones are the ones which cause a lot of trouble for the anxiously attached ones. And the avoidant is the one who's like, wants and craves connection, but then freaks out as soon as they get it. And they're like, they're more like, oh, just need me space. Oh God, they're always messaging us. Why can't I just do me? I think this is too good. I'm going to have to end it. That's your avoidance. And then you've got this lovely little bunch in the middle, like me, called fearful avoidance or disorganized attachment, it sometimes gets called. And that's somebody who usually has experienced like childhood adversity, maybe has ADHD is really common with it. And it's where you flip between the two. So you're anxious, you're craving that connection, but you're also craving that space, and you're absolutely fucked in the middle. But the good thing about attachment styles is you can heal them. I have healed mine. It's not fully gone, but you can become securely attached, and then you can, even if you get triggered, so sometimes I feel the anxious side coming out, sometimes I feel the avoidance side come out, and I'm able to check myself before I wreck myself, mostly. Unless I'm with somebody who's anxious or avoidant, and then it becomes a little bit harder. So yeah, does anybody know their attachment styles? But yeah, do go and check online, and you can buy a book called Attached. Really good book. I would get all my clients to do this, and it's got a quiz in it as well, and it also teaches you about your attachment style and how to heal it. Sidewalk Shack, FA as well. It's fun, isn't it? It's a fucking nightmare, honestly. I think anxious is a little bit easier to heal, I think. And also people who are anxiously attached tend to be a little bit more keen to heal, because they tend to be the ones who are like, if I could only do something different. But I was like dating someone for about, very briefly, about 6 weeks or something. Lovely lad. And I said to him, I was like, because I could tell he was avoidant straight away. And I just said to him, do you kind of run away from shit? Like, are you a little bit XYZ? And he was like, yeah. I was like, I kind of getting the vibe that you're avoidant, and it's bringing out my anxious side. So can you just message us when you're going to be disappearing and say like, look, I just need a bit of space? And he was like, yeah, that's cool. And he's like, yeah, that does sound like me. And he just messaged us, and it was just sweet. It worked out. So you can have these kind of conversations with the person that you're dating or seeing, and it makes life easier. Communication is key. I'm RB and would like to know you better. What's RB? What is the difference between true and false self? I think it's hard to know your true self. I'm still discovering my true self. I think I'm a lot more authentic than in the past. I can spot when I'm not being authentic. Naturally, you know, we're tribal creatures. Survival is the most important thing for us as human beings. Like, everything is around survival. So we need to blend in with our tribe. So naturally you tend to shapeshift with people you're around. Like, you'll notice you have that friend where you hammer each other, have a lot of like crude banter. Then you've got the person where you're a little bit more well-spoken. That's normal. Could you argue that's not your true self? Well, part of being a true self is being a human and connecting. But your true self and your false self, I think one thing that we all do is we shut ourselves up, we dim our light, we do things because we think we should, we don't do things because we think we shouldn't, and that is all false self. And it's really important that we start to honour our own needs and wants. But I would argue it's hard to be fully authentic, is what I'm learning anyways. That's my view. What's other people's? Alan Watts said, how can you ever know yourself? We are constantly changing. Yeah. And also constantly getting triggered. You know, it's really hard. Like, I feel really like sovereign, really good in myself. And then I had an interaction with somebody who I haven't seen in a year, I haven't really spoken to. Instantly, I went back to that version of myself who was angry, upset, wanted to scream. And I was like, whoa. All that work I've been doing just got unraveled in like 5 seconds. I had to leave the room. I was fuming. So, you know, we're always changing, but then we also have wounds that can get triggered, emotional wounds. So we can always go back and forth, and yeah. I think Sidewalk Shack is saying, I think your false self is what doesn't come when you are secure, calm and independent. Yeah. Yeah, and I definitely, and I think, look, there's times where we all feel insecure, not calm, and codependent. It's like, even the best of people do feel like that sometimes. And yeah, but I do think the more secure you become in yourself, the more you recognise, whoa, I'm out of whack. This doesn't feel like me. It feels out of character, because your new character, your identity is just more solid. Chris H, hello, in all of that life lessons that we'll go through. Exactly. Yeah, it is. And I think if you can just have that look on it, Chris, it's a lot easier, isn't it? Dr. Chatterjee says, use life like a social gymnasium. And I love it. I always think of that. Feel good vibes, or feel good videos. My daughter is 5 years old with a language disorder. She can't tell me what's happening or if she's getting bullied. Thanks for your advice. How do I get a one-to-one? Yeah, sounds really complex, the situation. I'm really sorry that you're going through all this. And yeah, a one-to-one would definitely be more appropriate. Just go to my website, schoolofaddiction.co.uk. I think I've pinned it, but I can't see the pin. Oh, that's setting a goal. Don't want goals. Yeah, I thought I pinned a chat that Sham had put up, but it's gone. Yeah, Chris is saying go to my website. My link's in my bio. Palladian sister, you are. An alien. Do you know what it is? If there's such things, I probably am. I just do not fit in with society. Fucking hell. Often feel like an alien. Can you speak a normal American accent? I'm not American. Oh, thank you, Sham. You did this before. I think it was you, but I wouldn't let us pin it. Ah, there we go. There we go. All self is constructed, but true self is the integrated self. Yeah. So if you look at Freud, his argument around it, so he talks about the ego, and actually he talks about this idea of like id, which is meant to be like your authentic self, like this innate self. And it's if we think about what we truly are like we don't have morals. We want this, we want that, we're quite like, it's like when you look at a kid, it just, they want everything and they don't care how they get it. Like my son is happy to punch, kick, spit to get what he wants if he's tired enough and I catch him on the right day. So he calls that id. That's your innate self, your innate desires, and often they don't serve you well in a group setting. So this is where superego comes in, and he says superego is this sense of self that we create to fit in. So it's like our moral self. And he says the ego's job is to navigate between the id, so the innate self, and the superego, the moral self. And we have to constantly teeter between the two. And I would agree with that, because, just because we want something and we need something, it doesn't mean, it might be in alignment with our true self, but if it's unacceptable, it's going to hurt other people, it's going to keep us isolated from people, you don't do it. So I would argue, are we ever our true selves? Everybody manipulates as well. We are all master manipulators, and we learn this as children. And it's not as insidious, some people it is, but we do manipulate. So I would argue, could you fully be your true self? I don't know. We're getting into philosophy now, though. Carl was right. I understand integration very well from independent discovery. Integration. Yeah, I do. Wait. I was going to say, I do feel like we need to integrate stuff. We need to explore then integrate. Chris, decisions are crucial and shape us into what we become. Don't normalise everything in your life. Rather examine it and put it under tight scrutiny. Yeah, that is a good way. And look, if we want to create an identity, like if we're struggling with our mental health or addiction recovery, because this is a recovery channel, I think it's really important that we take stock of our behaviours. Where do they come from? We scrutinise, like, how do we talk to ourselves? How do we treat ourselves? How do we treat others and talk to others? Take inventory. Think, does this feel in alignment with the person that I want to be, or that I'm aiming to be, or that I say I am? And that will help you integrate stuff and feel more whole and more authentic. Accountability is key for healing, Billy. Yeah, you have to. Accountability is so important. Not in the like kind of you need to go and repent and tell everybody that you're sorry. No, you can just be accountable for your life, for your present and future. Oh, what's this? It's because I've got tattoo cream on it sticking in. It's doing me head in. You can go. There we go. Stop tattooing yourself as well. Looks terrible. I love it. I'm just me though, so you do you. I'll do me. That is a good life tip that I say to my son, who's only 4, so shouldn't be having to say to you, Pharaoh. But just stay in your own lane. Makes life easier. Jim Miller says, Gabo says, not why the addiction, but why the pain. Yeah, I saw this this video, and it was somebody who was an alcoholic, clearly homeless, on planet off my nut, really bad way. And it was in an ambulance, and this woman, like the emergency services ambulance woman, can't think of her name, she was saying, what are you doing this to yourself for? Like, what are you drinking, all that? You just need to stop. And then he turned around and was like, it's my wife's anniversary today, she died. And I just thought, there's always a reason. And it said underneath, don't ask, like, don't tell them to stop drinking the drink or something like that. Like, ask why in the first place. Addiction just doesn't come out of a vacuum. It really doesn't, especially the hard addictions, you know, alcohol, heroin, really don't just come out of nothing. Billy, I had many addictions before my awakening. Multiple near deaths are what awakened my own accountability. I'm glad that you've got to that point. Teach us how to pronounce Worcestershire sauce. Worcestershire sauce. Bulldog, tell us something about your tattoos. I love them. Thank you. That's the mental health one. I'm sure you know that one. This one is an A. This was my engagement ring. And it's actually made up of my grand's engagement ring. It's got my mum and dad's wedding band, my nana and granddad's real grandpa's wedding band, my auntie's jewellery, and my grand's engagement ring all melted into it. And that makes that's the ring part. It was printed on a 3D printer. And that stone was one that I got from my dad when I was young for a gift, me and my sister did. And it's got some of the diamonds from the engagement ring in it. And when I got engaged, I got my own wedding ring, engagement ring made. And then, obviously, we're not together. It was my son's dad. So I thought that ring's precious to us. And I thought, you know what it is? I'm just going to commit to loving myself. So I've put on the opposite finger and I've got a little A, which symbolises Ashley. Just been in a little relationship with myself no matter what. Masonic, bloody you're engaged. No, I was engaged, not anymore. But life goes on. Who's just said, Dan, is the number on your hand your phone number? Aye, just in case I forget it because I'm so ADHD. I just forgot to put all the numbers on. Fireflame, where does the wedding ring go? Which hand? It's because the phone flips you around, doesn't it? It's supposed to be on this one, but it's on this one. Are you single? I am single, but I am not wanting to mingle, guys, just to make that clear. And not here to date or anywhere to date. I can't say the name of the sauce, so I called it the sauce never speaks out in the... I don't know what you are talking about. What? It's psychedelic. What is that last word? I can normally try and roll with it. There's a problem because we've got like a language barrier between me and psychedelic, but we'll both try the hardest. I'm dyslexic and he's German. We'll get along okay normally, but you're going to have to rewrite that last word. Tattoos are amazing. Got 13 going for a full upper body. Love that, Chris. You're a bit of a dark horse, you, aren't you? Little boxing, tattooed man of faith. I love it. Love your accent. Thank you, Robert. Hello, Australia. How are you doing, Oz? Billy, I see you. Thank you. Oh, there was somebody I was watching the other day who was like, I see you all the time. I was loving it. Right. Is love pain and pain love? So pain and pleasure is the same circuitry in the brain, if that's what you're talking about. I think love is painful, let's be real. Because you get so attached. And attachment can be really painful. I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. What's other people's thoughts? Quite philosophical. Russell with 1L. Oh, hello, how you doing? I remember that name. Yes, being happy and being useful to society do overlap but aren't the same thing. So integration alone will make you happy, but adjustment will make you useful. Being useful to society do overlap but aren't the same thing. Yeah, I think as well. I think often we strive for happiness, which like it is important to experience joy in your life, obviously. But also I think we should aim for peace and contentment. So it can be useful. I think, yeah, what you said about society is really important. Like, we're not going to feel well. We're not going to feel good. We're not going to reach our capacity if we do not have good connections in our life, because we need it. We're tribal creatures and our bodies are wired up for that. So it's so important that you've got your group. So men produce vasopressin when they bond with men, women produce oxytocin when we bond with women, and that is the same thing that you produce when you bond with same-sex relationships with your children. So it's really important that we've got like little tribes of people who get us, who we feel safe with. Yeah, connection is so important. And I think being useful to society, even just having a good group of people around you, and being useful to that is the same as doing charity or whatever. But yeah, being useful is really good. We're supposed to have a purpose. We are, like, in a tribe, we're all supposed to be doing something. I'd probably be the shaman because I've been sectioned with psychosis. Storytellers, all this stuff, hunters. I am British, sunshine. Hi, whoever's saying excuse me, I can't say your name. How are you doing? She is not flat. What do you mean by not flat? Fox Hunt, what were you addicted to? I was addicted to... sorry, I'm laughing there. Just because I'm just saying Sham. Yes, northeast of England. Every time I see you, Sham, you're just saying... having to tell people where I'm from. I don't see the little comments as well because I tend to go to the bigger ones just because there tend to be more questions. So I don't see like asking of the accent trolls or people asking us to marry us. I just see the odd one. Sorry, right, that distracted us. My addiction, I used to be addicted to ketamine. But look, my psychiatrist said I was addicted to mind-altering substances. I was just off my nut the whole of my 20s, early 30s. In a bad way by the end of it. I was like the dregs of the session, unfortunately. Have you heard, Dylan is saying, have you heard of the ketogenic diet for psychosis, bipolar, schizophrenia? So I haven't looked into the ketogenic diet a lot. I've looked a lot into fasting. The only thing for that is I can't do that because I'm a vegetarian. So that's why I was looking at fasting. But fasting actually was setting off my psychosis, so I just do intermittent fasting now. But yeah, so I don't know. I've looked into it. So some studies say with fasting, which I know is similar with the ketones, is that it can be good for it. Some people it can be bad. I don't know about ketogenic diet because I just thought it's not really something I can do personally. Oh, thank you, lazy man, Sam. How are your teeth so white after dealing with addictions? Mine have definitely gotten worse. So I've got an amazing toothpaste. I'm not endorsed by them. It's just really fucking good. It's called Icy Bear or something. Icy Bear. If you want the name of it, the link of it, just comment on me content. I'll send you a link for the website. They often have offers on as well, so quite expensive. Not gonna lie, but you get like a toothpaste, and then you get like this stuff that you dip your brush in that I put on after. Really good. But yes, I mean, I think I was quite lucky in terms of my teeth in addiction anyways, but not fully. Everyone has sinned, which condemns them to damnation. Okay. I don't think I'm not getting into this again. I got political on my last live around my religious beliefs. I'm not going to do it again. Oh, thank you, a person. That was kind of you to say. What addiction, if I may ask? Yeah, so Kyle, it was ketamine. I've just quit vaping recently, but I've been like over 4 years clean from ketamine. But I'm also an addictions counsellor, which ironically, I was training to be an addictions counsellor when I developed the addiction, which is fucking a mad way to do it. But I was constantly on some kind of level, whether it was alcohol, weed, coke, pills, all of the above. Scotties, you've done amazing. Well done, thank you. Mr. Shaw, 7 years clean, love that. What's your top tip since you're an absolute veteran? Kyle is saying I was on ketamine 2 until 3 years ago. Had been doing 2 gram daily for 2 years. Yeah, I was like doing half a hen, sometimes a hen, easily. It's so fucking addictive, isn't it, Kyle? What's your top tip for people who are struggling in addiction and active addiction? I just got a bottle of ketamine in the mail from my nurse practitioner. Do you recommend against it? Dylan, are you talking about are you doing it like supervised as a health thing? Because I know that they like microdosing. Couldn't get my words out then. Because absolutely do not recommend. I absolutely do not go against the recommendations of healthcare professionals. I wasn't getting this off a healthcare professional, that is for sure. I was getting off fucking dealers. I was getting it off Bob and Mildred down the roads. They're not the actual names, but I was selling it at one point, fucking hell, to my friends. The other end. Right, I'm still struggling addiction though. I'm just doing weed now. I'm not the guy, unfortunately, Kyle. Kyle, did you just say about ketamine? Yeah, you was on ketamine. So let's see. I'm still struggling addiction though. I'm just doing weed now. I'm not that guy, unfortunately. Look, if I had to pick between a ketamine addiction and a weed addiction, weed I would say is definitely less damaging if you're looking at a harm reduction standpoint. A lot of people do this, so don't shame yourself. But if you're wanting some support to get off that, go to my website. Shams linked it, and we can absolutely discuss it. I'm going to be starting up an addiction group as well, like a therapy addiction group. It's going to be for memberships, and I've been planning it, so it's because I wasn't going to do it originally, but I've been planning, so it's going to be pretty good. It's going to be like a proper therapy session, although I need to say it isn't a replacement for therapy because I ain't doing no fucking insurance and malark like that and supervision. But yeah, that might be something you could do. Everyone, I need a split. Chris saying, praying for you all. How blessed are those who call in the name of the Lord. Don't worry, I'm praying even if you don't believe. Christ died for our sin to set us free. I love that, Chris. Take care. Have a lush day and thanks for showing up. I appreciate it. Addiction Recovery 101. I've just given you a follow, a subscribe, because I saw that you'd seen one of my shorts. Think I need a 13 steps. It's the only thing I haven't done in 6 years of recovery and relapses. I need to try something new. Did you do NA meetings? I didn't. No, I didn't. Addiction Recovery 101. If you're struggling with relapses and recovery, first of all, is it alcohol? Is that, because I think that's a little bit harder. But one thing, there's a few things that you need to do. So first of all, this goes for anyone who's struggling in addiction, and this is very simple what I'm saying, but on paper it takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of showing up day in, day out. But you're doing that anyways because you've said you've had 6 years of relapse recovery. So it's not just about removing the addiction and white knuckling through it. Oh, thank you, Dylan, for the donation. I really appreciate that. And I do free one-to-one, so you're helping someone. But anyways, so you don't just need to white knuckle it, addiction recovery. What you need to do is learn how to strengthen the part of your brain which is responsible for impulse control. So it's neuroplasticity, create new neuroplasticity. which is going to be supportive, because addiction is the limbic system and it's all just impulsive happening now. So that's important. You need to learn to regulate your emotions. So stress management is really, really fucking important. Learn to regulate, because what is cravings? It's stress. You also need to cultivate an environment in your life which is supportive of addiction recovery. And not even recovery, recovered. Like, you're no longer in recovery, you're recovered. That ain't coming into my life because it's so fucking mint and precious. There ain't no way I'd be risking it for that shit. So that's really important. And also learning to love yourself. It is an inside job. So I know that's like, okay, you just listed loads of things. All of those things are hard. Yes, they are. But they're also something that every day you can just keep chipping away at. And think of them all like skills. And pick a skill and work on that, and then move to a different area of it. Danelle, AA meetings suck. They didn't work. They're just meant to make you feel worthless. They're also meant to make you feel like a loser, because that's a minute. Those rooms are depressing, very depressing. I went to NA meetings. One thing that's really good about any groups is that whoever you're surrounding yourself with, you're more likely to match their energy. Thinking about that tribe mentality that I said in the beginning. So there's so much research on the people you hang around with. So if everyone in your group starts going to the gym, guess what? It's very unlikely that you are not going to go to the gym. If everybody in your group is overweight, it is more likely that you too are going to be overweight. There's so much research. You hear it all the time. You know, if you want to be a millionaire, go hang around with millionaires. So the things that groups do is you've got loads of people who are in active recovery. And the opposite of that, especially if it's drug addiction, or alcoholism, is hanging around with loads of people who are in active addiction. So it's better, it's good in that sense. It's motivating, it's inspire. You have people inspiring you. There are things that I disagree with, I will agree. I hate, fucking despise, hello, my name is Ashley and I'm an addict. No, I'm not. I'm recovered. And if I am an addict, I'm working towards not being an addict. I'm working towards closing that chapter. And I think if you look at the psychology, what we tell ourselves is very important, because it creates beliefs, and then our behaviours, thoughts, feelings all come out of the beliefs that we create. And if we're telling ourselves that I'm an addict, you're going to believe you're an addict. If you tell yourself I'm not a fucking addict, no fucking way am I going to be an addict again, then you're going to be acting, feeling and thinking in alignment with that. It's obvious she just likes to hear her fucking voice and read our comments and respond to the comments. What the hell is wrong with you? Stop talking for so long. Read the comments. I'm trying my best just to answer things and give advice, but maybe you're on the wrong channel. That's all I've got to say to that. Right. Troy, you are a very beautiful woman. Thank you. Well, hello to Texas. Psychedelic. I had today a chat with the AI, and it says keep doing whatever you're doing. The most people stop it before it starts. I believe in you, Ashley, and that you will have success in the group and in life. Do you know what is psychedelic? I agree with AI. You've been showing up to this channel since the beginning. Like, psychedelic's one of the OJs. It's been going 6 months. You are just constantly just fighting for this future that you fucking deserve. Like, honestly, like keep doing it, because the thing is, in the early stages, like, I know you've had a few little blips, little mini relapses, but you pick yourself up all the time. You're constantly doing things in alignment with that recovered version that I'm talking about. And it is really hard in the point you're at, but there is a version of you which is going to be so fucking proud of yourself. And I fully agree. Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing amazing. The stuff that you're saying is so on point and really similar to what I was like when I was in the stage that you are. That nose has seen some coke, right, has it? This nose has seen a lot of lines. It's actually like bent as well off it. Like, you can tell which was my main nostril, was that one. Right. Let's see what people are saying. Charles Lee Ray. Why do people keep saying she's Irish? Sounds nothing like Irish. I don't know. Is it the ginger hair? Is it like association or something? What was your drug of choice? In fact, it was Coke for a good while, but Ket. Ket was the one that like really, really got us. Like terribly. I gave birth on Ket. That's how bad it got us. Not my finest moment. TS, second day stopping weed. I want to smoke, but my brain doesn't want. Now I'm drinking whiskey cola to calm me down. Do you think that using alcohol for weed is good? I'm smoking 5 years straight. No, I don't. Because actually, if you look at the impacts of what alcohol could have you long term, as opposed to weed, it's categorized, it's legal. But there's someone called Professor Nutt, who was actually in charge of, what do you call it? It was like the commission, like basically drug and addictions specialist for UK policy, and he categorised all substances from worse to least harmful, and alcohol was I think it was like number 6 or number 4, I can't remember. It was very high up, and weed was much further down. And the reason why it's so addictive, it's socially acceptable. I know weed is, it's carcinogen. So what I would say to TS is, you're looking for dopamine. That's what's happening, and alcohol's giving you that dopamine. Maybe you're looking for that kind of relief and that escape as well. So try and find something that gives you that dopamine hit. Use that to replace. Also, TS, do you smoke? Like, did you smoke weed with tobacco, and do you smoke outside of it? Because you could also be having tobacco withdrawals. So in that case, use a nicotine patch or something that might help, because you might be dealing with both cravings. Obviously, I don't know your situation, but obviously tobacco is chemically addictive. It might be as well that you're less, if you do smoke, it's like less intake. There's a lot of things like different things, but I'll try. I mean, I'm not here to tell you what to do. If you want in a one-to-one when I come back, we can do it. But I would go to smart meetings. That's a really good thing that you can access right now. I can't remember the days, but they're online. I think it might be Monday and Thursday, and they've got loads of strategies to help you get through this really shitty stage you're at. It's a kind of a opposite group to NAAA, so it's like alternative. Sorry, not opposite. Just type smart meetings for addiction in YouTube. The online meetings, this might be some in your area as well. Clutter, stop putting yourself down. You're lovely. How you are, nobody has perfect past. Also, I have a tattoo as well, thingy as well. Oh, are you talking about when I said about not my finest moment? I've done so much healing around my addiction now. I don't put myself down, but I was. Well, oh, I got that tattoo filled in. I've just scratched it. I was probably why I had to get it filled in, to be honest with you. I did used to really beat myself up about my addiction, but I don't anymore. Mr. Doug Frisch asked, started vaping to quit smoking, now I have to try and quit that. Yeah. I did exactly the same. And I was like, actually, I'm smoking more than I've ever fucking smoked in my entire life. There was no way in hell was I allowed to have this amount of snout. Justifiably? Is that even a word? Justify having that much? Fire Flame saying I quit both vaping and smoking. Yeah, I had to. I've just recently quit vaping. Fucking hell, it was awful. Yeah, winging it to win it. Love that name. Yes, on all. Alcohol is worse for you than weed. If you're trying to quit weed, cut down usage, then stop, then find a hobby. You may relapse. That's fine. Don't get angry and just say okay and get back off. Yeah, holding off. Yeah, it is. And look, even if you look at weed, like, so smoking weed in joints is both chemically and psychologically addictive because the tobacco is chemically addictive. But alcohol is psychologically and chemically addictive. If you have an alcohol addiction, it's that and benzocaines are the few addictions that you can have that you can die off going cold turkey from. It's actually just poison you're putting in your body. So I'm not saying like don't have a drink recreationally or whatever, that's up to everybody, but I certainly wouldn't, if you are coming out of addiction and you're replacing it, you're being very susceptible for your brain to now associate whatever you're replacing it with to be a new addiction. So I'd be really careful because your brain's craving dopamine. Because essentially what happens is when we're addicted, we're getting something, weed or whatever it is, floods your brain with dopamine. And because that happens, your brain doesn't like it. So what it does is it down-regulates the amount of dopamine that you produce. So then when you remove this thing which was flooding your brain with dopamine, it's already down-regulated. So it takes a while for it to then flip back up to baseline. So you're going to feel like shit and you're going to be craving anything that gives you dopamine. So often people switch to other addictions. Sometimes they lean into smoking. So I did that when I quit my drug addiction. I vaped. Really big struggle when I quit vaping because I couldn't vape to get through it. But people sometimes find that they end up eating sugar because that also gives you a lot of dopamine. So try and do something that gives you dopamine, but in a positive way. Also, so just because your dopamine is fucked, remember there's other feel-good hormones that you can access. Oxytocin is a great one. So try and get oxytocin, there's loads of little things that you can do which makes you produce oxytocin. It'll make you feel relaxed, calm and feel good. So they're going to be different for everyone. I would honestly go in AI and hash out what's going to bring you oxytocin for you, but generally it's around connection. So if you've got pets, stroking the pets, just anything that feels like a warm hug. So like if you've got like a nice big hoodie that you love, just get cozy in that, watch a nostalgic program. For me, I love a good bath. That makes us feel nice and relaxed. So just look into what different things produce oxytocin for you and hijack that reward system instead. Notice her eyes are pins. She's tweaking. That's why she's talking so goddamn much. But yes, Drew, I think it's probably because I've got light shining in my eye. But I've also got ADHD, so hyperactivity in play. I'm assuming tweaking is the same as pinging. Right, TS, what about using weed and playing video games? My therapist says it's like getting inside the game. What do you mean by using it? Do you mean like using video games to get off weed, because what we just spoke about? Or do you mean like the weed enhances playing video games? James, self-discipline is the key to recovery. Yeah, but we need to have the ability to do that. So that's impulse control. So that's like making sure that we've got self-discipline. So it's connections in our brain. So we have to train ourselves to be able to have that level of self-discipline. So for some people, it's not like, oh, you're not disciplined enough. It's just like actually because the way that drugs and alcohol works in the brain, if you're looking at it from a neuroscientific point, it just hijacks it. Hijacks the dopamine, like with the reward part of your brain. It hijacks the limbic system, and this is all impulsive. So you need, if you're going to have self-discipline, you need to intentionally build and strengthen the connections in your brain for impulse control, rational thinking, and that's a skill. But like a skill you can absolutely practice. So self-discipline, start practicing self-discipline. So if you've got an addiction, say for instance we're talking about vaping and smoking, start practicing saying no to yourself. So if you usually have a vape, the first thing you do, for me, I used to like shuffle around in my bed and find wherever my vape was. Be like, I'm not going to smoke in the morning, and it'd be annoying, but you're starting to get like strengthen the connections in your brain, which is self-discipline. FX forever. I literally love you. Thank you for this. No problem. No problem at all. And thank you for saying that. That's really kind. I'm going through it with White, the ALC. What's that? Hossa. I'm going through it with no with the ALC. What does that mean? I don't know if I'm not reading that right. Zabulu's saying ultimately, if you're operating in the vibration of victim, then it's going to be a need to cope in it. When I change this mentality, I am now becoming more self-governed. Trust me, I was victim. Yeah, this is the thing, and it's this fine line of like recognizing that, you know, often people in addiction or who struggle with mental health have often had something which has got you to that point. So it's not about rejecting that side of yourself. So it's not about blaming yourself and like, I'm a horrible person, I've got an addiction or whatever, I'm failing at this thing called life. It's about working out why. So that is stepping into the victim role a little bit. It's acknowledging that I've probably have been a victim to life somewhere along the line for this to have occurred. You know, that's probably happened. And then it's about like working through that and recognizing that, yeah, that did happen. And, you know, it's not my fault that I've got addiction. However, it is my responsibility. Like, I am the only person who's going to come sort this out. And I do have a responsibility to do that for myself. But yeah, I agree with that. Is metacognition really helps with both anxiety and self-discipline? 100%. 100%. I talk about metacognition all the time. Is Jay on the channel. It's really important, and if you don't know what it is, go look it up. But essentially, it's mindfulness is a really good way to cultivate it. But it's this part of your brain. There's a part of your brain which like observes how the other parts of your brain are operating. So it like observes when you were feeling emotional, when you're being reactive, when you're in fight or flight. And if you can strengthen this part, the connections of your part of your brain through metacognition, essentially what you do is you observe yourself in real time and you're able to course correct. It's a fucking game changer. And it's a skill that you can practice. Yeah, how to leave addictions. I want to study and get into Dream University. How to leave addictions. I feel like it's quite a broad question for the end of the live, because it is the end. If you want to have a one-to-one, we can do that, because I am going to be leaving now. But yeah, come on my lives, I talk about addiction all the time. And I think the main thing, you know, if you're joining, you're probably thinking it's just talking about mental health and stuff like that. I think the main thing is if you're going to address addiction, you have to address the root cause, which is often related to either undiagnosed mental health disorders or diagnosed, could be diagnosed, usually some adversity in either childhood or just when your brain was developing, whether that's bullying, whether that's like trauma, maybe it's like just struggling to have good connection, healthy connections with our parents, attachment styles, etc. So you need to work out the root cause, and then you need to address the root cause, and you need to work on regulating your nervous system and work on loving yourself. Like, that is the main thing, is you have to learn to love yourself. Do you know, it's so broad, but I can do one-to-one, and we can come up with a little game plan to get you started and get you with the right services and etc. But I'm gonna go because I'm tired. Also, my friend, bless her, is waiting downstairs with the lobby with our new friend she's just made, so I can do this live for you. So I'm gonna go, but oh, thanks, SJ. If anyone can give us a subscribe, that's really helpful. I'll be back on Friday at 10 a.m. GMT time. And yeah, thanks for everyone who's joined, and thanks to my mods. You have done amazing as always. I barely even see you, so I just see the odd thing where you're answering questions in Sham. Thanks for keeping everyone in the know that I'm from Newcastle. Right, I'll see you later, guys. Bye.